What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another great edition of The Hop, a craft beer, a podcast with your hosts, Gabe and Steven. We're back for our beer and review episode. We do it all the time at the end of the year. We wrap up this past year. We talk about our favorite beers, our favorite moments, our favorite toasts. We are in celebration mode today. I am Gabriel Apria. As always, with me is my co-host, Steven Humes.
What up, people? Welcome in. Yes, it's the 2022 Beer in Review episode, a time for us to reflect on another year of podcasting. Look back at what we've done, look forward to what's ahead of us. We made it. It's the end of the year, and it's been a while since we were on these microphones.
Yeah, it has been. But we're excited to take a look back, remembrance. We've got 3 beers on this episode, revisiting 2 breweries, and introducing a third.
Yeah, what we like to do on the Hop. On our beer and review episodes is go back to breweries that have been on the show in the past, which all 3 of these breweries have, and just take a look at what else they have to offer. See what else is going on at those breweries that we may have missed when they had their own episode or when they were on the show before. So we're going to start off separately. Gabe's going back to Montclair Brewing, which was an exciting episode that we did in 2021, round 68. I'm going back to Crowns and Hops, Inglewood, California. That was round 61. And then we'll round it out together with another stop at Boulevard Brewing, which was first featured on our Super Bowl episode 2020, round 7, and was then featured on our Christmas episode, round 52.
I should have said reintroducing. I said introducing like we had a third random. No, these are all ones we've done before.
Yep.
That's all my mistake. Ones we've done before, we've liked, we've enjoyed. Steven said we're just going to pick some new offerings and get into it.
So we have so much to do today. We have news and notes. We got all these beers to drink. We got our top 5 beers. We got our favorite toasts of the year. We got so much reflecting to do. This year on The Hop, we have released 52 podcast episodes. Of those, 26 were Throwback Thursdays and 25 were new episodes. I feel like that math doesn't add. 26 new episodes, including this one.
Yeah, that's before this one. There we go.
Yeah, there we go. We've drank beer, 67 beers in total this year from 37 different breweries. We've had beer from 13 states and 4 countries. This brings our grand total all-time beers featured on The Hop to 280 beers.
Yay!
Gabe and I have been around.
We are not healthy. We have been drinking a lot of beer. For anyone out there that can do the math and figure out what the caloric intake on that is, there's a part of me that wants to know, and then there's a bigger part of me that's like, don't tell
Terrifying.
me. Oof. Ugh.
We've also had our first non-alcoholic brewery on the show in Athletic Brewing. We had our one of our taproom special segments. We got together and drank some beers in New York this year, so that was exciting.
Finally.
So another successful year of podcasting glory, I'd say, making beer fun and entertaining
and inclusive. That was one of our most important things. We've stuck to it since day one, back in when we were, as you like to call us, wee little podcasting babies.
Babies.
We started in January of 2020. It started, as some of you might know, the old story. It started as a fun little, this could be cool on the weekends. And it turned into, the pandemic hit and we're bored. We need something to do.
Yeah. And it sustained us through that, and it's continued to. And we have some really exciting stuff coming up in 2023 too. So just to tease that out a little bit, we do have some really exciting things on the horizon. So I look forward to year 4 of my podcasting life with you. Gabe.
Damn, it's been a while. It's been fun. It's been dope. It's been I was not a big podcaster, listener, or doer back then, and this one has certainly opened me up to it, and I've been listening to I listen to the normal stuff I listen to, but then I kind of branch off and listen to some other stuff, for actors. Like, I listened to Cillian Murphy interview on a random podcast not too long ago. Like, it's a fun world. It's a difficult world because it's technical as hell, and these microphones and what connects and what, and I need another outlet. But it's been fun. It's been dope, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everybody. And if you aren't already engaging with us, you should do that in the new year. Your New Year's resolution should be to follow The Hop. We're on Instagram and Twitter at the HO Podcast. You can find us on YouTube as a video podcast. You can rate and review the show wherever you listen. We appreciate it when you do that. We read them. Tell your friends about the show. Tell your family about the show. Tell strangers about the show, honestly. Really just help spread the word. And if you have suggestions, requests, complaints, I guess, you can send those to thehopod@gmail.com. That is our email address. And so we love getting suggestions from people, and we make it a priority when people make requests to feature those beers on the show. So reach out to us, engage with us. We love it.
Let us know what breweries to hit up next. Let us know what breweries to repeat. We love you all. Thank you all. If you've listened to 5 minutes, 5 seconds, 5 hours, 5 episodes, doesn't matter. If you've engaged with us at all, we appreciate it, and we love you guys.
All right, let's get into some beer news to kick this off.
Beer news.
So we took an extra week in the middle here in order to time this up right. So a lot has gone on since last we spoke. Weyerbacher Brewery has been sold to new owners. They've reopened their tap room. That's exciting. Love to see breweries coming back to life. We had reported...
reopening is the key word. Yes.
Yeah. We had reported that they were shutting it down. So they've been sold to new owners, so good for them.
Yeah.
On the sadder side, Lagunitas is closing one of their tap rooms. Their Seattle tap room will be closing. They announced that a couple weeks ago.
I feel like they're a big enough company. I feel like they're all right.
They'll be fine. Yeah, they got that Anheuser-Busch money behind them.
Oh.
This is exciting, though. Two Locals Brewing, which was on our show, Round 97, excellent brewery in Philly. They are opening their new tap room in the summer of this year, 2023, or next year, I guess.
Yeah.
Still. So it's awesome. They're Philly's first Black-owned brewery. They make great beers. We loved having them on the show, and they're going to be opening a dope new space. They signed a lease at U City Square, which is a mixed-use development on the campus of Drexel University. So the plan is for it to open in the summer of 2023. We'll see if that is what happens, but it's great for them. Really exciting. Can't wait to see it.
And they had dope beers.
Yeah, they did.
That was one of the other things that was just great about them, all the things you said. But we're looking forward to that, and good for you guys. So check them out. Two Locals, great brewery. We're going to start off the news and notes by talking about a brewery that, well, let's be real, keeps needing to break out the mops and clean it up. They're struggling.
Yep.
It's been reported many, many times. You guys probably know who we're talking about. We're talking about BrewDog. And now it's just even more. They are being demoted from their B Corp status. Now, what does it mean to be B Corp if you're a brewery, things like that? It's basically a company that gets recognized for having some sort of commitment and or drive to better help the environment, their community, the staff, giving back, doing good. Woof. No pun intended. They lost that status less than 2 years after joining. The company has been wildly criticized lately. We've been reporting over time and time again, as much as we can. If we learn something, we talk about it. Number of reasons, the list is probably too long to even go into at this point. Here's another kicker. They were also, and again, we talked about this, they were the subject of a BBC documentary called Disclosure, The Truth About BrewDog, which looked at their workplace culture and conditions, and spoiler alert, it ain't good. And I mean, I think it's safe to say if you've got a documentary about you in a negative way, you're doing something wrong. Their responses have not been great. They've really not been trying hard and giving back and things like that. A spokesperson for the B Lab declined to comment, but basically said BrewDog is no longer a part of the program. We do have a comment from their CEO, James Watt, who said, "We firmly believe no other business has our environmental credentials or has invested anywhere near as much as we have in mental health support, team well-being, or training and development, nor has any other peer launched such a significant team share program or profit sharing scheme." This is a problem because there are still issues going on at your brewery. Racism, sexism, workplace conditions, favoritism, things like that. You know, the movements have all been happening, and BrewDog has pretty much always been at the center of it. So the fact that they're losing this, not that surprising in my opinion.
Yep, I completely agree. It's honestly not that surprising. It's just part of a trend, and it's just the kind of thing where it's like, it sucks because they, you know, are in some ways an innovative brewery in terms of the beers that they brew, but you just can't get behind them as a company, and that stuff matters. Certainly matters to us on the show, and it's our position that it should matter to you too. So, BrewDog, clean it up.
Clean it up. But what have we been saying this whole time?
Okay, in more fun news, at the end of the year, we like to reflect and look back on a year in beer. The Brewers Association does release a report every year where they look at the year in trends, what went well, what didn't go well. So it's not a surprise that 2022 was still kind of a rough one in terms of recovery from the old pandemic. There were supply chain issues, there were aluminum can issues.
The can issue. Oh man.
Yeah.
Oof.
So breweries are still working on that, but they continue to recover in 2022. On-premise sales definitely bounced back, meaning buying beer in a brewery. Draft beer is still recovering a little bit, but the report found that more than 9,500 breweries operated in the United States in 2022. That's 9,500. Around 550 breweries opened, around 200 breweries closed. So that's a net positive.
So basically what you're saying is we only played that creepy funeral music 200 times.
200 times, exactly right.
Could have been worse.
It's some breweries close, some breweries open. It happens all the time, but I think you want to see the opening number higher than the closing number. So
absolutely.
That's good. 2022 also saw the return of the Gabe. The Great American Beer Festival returned after 2 years off, hosted more than 40,000 beer lovers in Denver, Colorado from the 6th to the 8th of October. And then the Brewers Association gives us predictions for 2023. Their predictions are that brewery openings will be the lowest in over a decade in the coming year. They predict not ideal. They predict that distributed craft volume will not grow, supply chain will remain rocky, but collectively, average prices will come down, which is good.
That's good.
And total brewery employment will increase.
Yeah, all right. Well, stick to your local places, and maybe you'll see your friend working the night shift. I don't know.
Yeah, drink local, as we always say.
Oh, definitely drink local, yeah.
And we'll be able to go into this a little bit more as these reports start to come out in the new year. But we always see, companies and analysts predicting what they predict the trends to be in 2023. I think there's definitely, it's sort of widely agreed upon that RTDs, ready to drink things, will be much more prominent than craft beer, and that we'll see that. But I do know that some of the predictions are that brewers will just need to keep innovating. You'll see more adjunct more beers with chili pepper, more beers with pickle. What? You're going to see those flavors.
Trigger.
Yeah, because I think that brewers just need to continue innovating, and so it was a trend. Firm Overproof was the company I was looking at that they did predict in 2023. You can expect to see beers flavored with chocolate, chili pepper, fruits, more adventurous beer experiences. They also said that the herbal flavors are going to be key. And we see that with even like cannabis infused stuff too.
I was
right?
just about to say the weed water stuff. I mean, like weed water. That's kind of a hot commodity these days. Now that I mean, where are we at with dispensaries? They're opening a little more here and there, but like I can only imagine that these places, and I've had friends that they have the cans. It's not a classic like beer can topper. It looks like how when you go into a store and they have the tag on it, and in order to pay, they have to do the thing to get the tag off.
Yeah.
It's kind of looks similar to that. Just like you have to like use this machine to get it out. I'm sure it's easier than that. But like stuff like that is like really different and new. And yeah, breweries. I mean, I'm not a brewer. What the hell do I know? But keep making the weird shit because it'll make this show. Yeah, we'll do the classic IPA. We'll do the classic stout. But I want the weird like. This is a drink based off of a lizard. I don't know, like something weird. Let's do it.
Yeah, drinkers are more adventurous now than ever before. And so brewers can definitely use that to their advantage. So we'll talk more about that once we cross the bridge into the new year and we see more of these sort of articles come out. It's always fun to look ahead at the predictions. And hey, we said that we would see a lot of like dill pick. What was that? 2020. We said that like these flavors are going to be big, and then they all were in 2021.
Yeah. Whatever article you found last time, really.
Sometimes they really nail it.
Those writers got the inside scoop. They know what they're talking about. But yeah, I'm interested. And we like to kind of shit on those weird ass beers like the pickle and tomato and stuff. But hey. You don't see us making a tasting video for like a pale ale, do you?
Yeah.
So
all right, let's get into some drinking. So what we mentioned it before. What we like to do at the end of the year is reflect on our favorite toasts of the year. So Gabe picked one, I picked one, and we're gonna go back in time.
Oh man, I love this part so much.
All right, I'm going first. Mine's from round 108. So. You picked one that was my toast, so I picked one of your toasts.
Yes, and I think this was the one. Was this the one that, like, the second I was done reading it, you were like, I'm picking this for a year in review?
No, it wasn't. But
it wasn't this one.
I went a different way because I just listening back to it, it made me laugh. And
great.
Let's just. This was our Winterfest episode, which was in last winter. So here we go, round 108. In 7 months. Okay, Gabe.
Yes.
Hit us with a toast and let's get wintry.
So for the winter toast, I'm just going with a couple fun quotes. And the first one is by our boy, Mark Twain. I know the look of an apple that is roasting and sizzling on the hearth on a winter's evening. And I know the comfort that comes of eating it hot, along with some sugar and a drench of cream. I know how the nuts, taken in conjunction with winter apples, cider, and donuts, make old people's tales and old jokes sound fresh and crisp and enchanting. And the second and final quote is from our other boy, George R.R. Martin. Nothing burns like the cold. Oh, man.
Why did you hit the word nut like that? Was that for me because I have an allergy, or is that just because of the word?
Because it's funny. I don't know.
Okay, well...
You ever hit a certain word so hard, it's just, nuts. It's just,
nut. I mean, it just... All right, I'm going to stop doing that.
See?
Okay. It just made me laugh. I don't know what to say.
Man,
it got me.
I forgot about that one. I remember the second I said George R.R. Martin, I was like, oh yeah, I remember that quote, but nut! Oh man.
Nut!
It's so good.
Unnecessary.
It's so good. And then you had an honorable mention.
Oh, my honorable mention is Oktoberfest this year, which was me, but I listened back to it, and that's round 125 if you haven't heard it, and this year I chose to celebrate the debauchery of Oktoberfest in my toast, and that was a pretty good one too. Listening back to it, it made
that one was good. Just talking about all the hell that breaks loose at Oktoberfest, like that set us up for a great round of drinking. So.
Yeah.
My favorite toast. I love this part because I don't like look at any sort of like anything we write down. I go back and listen, and I find each toast, and so listening to this one just killed me. This is for round 115. We drank beer from Trader Joe's, and Steven had the toast because he always gets the fun ones, and he started off the toast. I won't spoil it, but my favorite part is he reads a poem by, quote, some lady with a blog.
Round 115. Here we go.
I don't know.
The Ambar. All right. Well, speaking of giving people a fair shake, let's go to Trader Joe's.
Let's go grocery shopping.
Yes, indeed. All right. I'm going to read a poem, and it's about Trader Joe's, but I just want to say,
God.
I want to dedicate this to some very specific products that I can't live without in my life.
If you start shouting out like Cliff Bars, I'm going to walk
Not
off
Cliff
this
Bars.
podcast.
No, this is a Trader Joe's themed thing, and I'm going to shout out to... Listen, if you know, you know, okay? So this toast is dedicated to the orange chicken. It's dedicated to the unexpected cheddar cheese. It's dedicated to the $2 wine. It's dedicated to chicken fried rice, the multigrain veggie medley, Speckaloos, the gyoza pot stickers, and the garlic naan crackers. Those are the ones I've chosen to highlight today. There are more. Here we go. This poem is called An Ode to Trader Joe's, and it's written by some lady with a blog. Trader Joe's. Oh, Trader Joe's. Pretty flowers and choco O's. Veggies and fruits fresh from the dirt, and people in cool Hawaiian shirts. Amazing wines and special finds for all mankind. Trader Joe's, oh Trader Joe's, thank you for taking care of my dinner woes. Even if I walk in feeling a little crappy, I always walk out with a heart full of happy.
I thought you were going to say, I always walk out with a bag full of snackies, and I was going to flip this table over.
I mean, what it is wasn't much better.
Another thing to add.
You know what's amazing about that is listening back to that.
You mean besides everything? Go on.
Listening back to it, it's like a reminder of where I was at in life, because I'm like, oh yeah, I haven't had that in a while. Like,
yeah, you start meal planning,
like,
right?
Yeah, those crackers I used to be really into for a couple days.
When you just started naming off grocery store items and then followed it up with, okay, I'll do this toast. It's written by some lady with a blog. Killed me. I had to pick that one. So that was my choice. And
I stand by it.
I do too. I was in Trader Joe's recently and we got a bunch of stuff and it did not disappoint. Our freezer is overflowing with those pumpkin samosas.
Nice.
And then my honorable mention was round 113. We drank Brave Noise. That was the collaboration with Brianne Allen and Other Half. That was the brewery. And we had that was another one of yours. We had a poem and then we had a Brianne Allen quote. And I just thought it was great. It was perfect. I was pumped we got to drink that beer and really give it its due. If you see it, buy it. It was one of those. But yeah. That was my honorable mention.
All right. With that, we shall go back to some breweries we've been at before and drink some beer for the new year.
Hell yeah.
I am kicking things off at Crowns and Hops. Again, we mentioned it before, but they were on round 61, which was not this year. It was actually in 2021. But we loved featuring this brewery. They are a dope brewery out of Inglewood, California. They are just an incredible operation. They're getting even better. Their beers are kind of taking off. Like back when we featured them, they had a couple of SKUs. Now they have quite a few different
yeah.
offerings, and
Yeah.
they're getting a little experimental, and it's getting...
Every time I look at social media, I'm like, damn, that sounds good. That sounds better. That sounds good. You know, it's
Right.
just...
So I wanted to feature one of those and enter Mama's Peaches, which is a peach cobbler gose. Okay, so this is a peach cobbler tart ale brewed with peach puree, cinnamon, vanilla, and graham crackers.
Oh.
I am excited. This is 6% ABV. Beer Advocate has not rated it. Untapped has it at 3.5. And this is a beer dedicated to Hattie Slack. This is on the can here. A Louisiana woman who brought her 3 children to LA during one of the largest migrations of Black people from the South to the West Coast. Hattie and this community would set the stage for many pioneers of culture not known to the world. And this is part of a series, and the series is dedicated to the matriarchs of our community who continue to influence strength, commitment, and radical change while exhibiting unconditional love. Cheers to the mamas.
Amen, my guy. Wow.
Right?
Nice.
Isn't that nice? So that's what it is. That's what we're getting into. But I just,
Nice.
we see a lot of fruited gozes, but you don't see a lot of like this is a cobbler. So the graham cracker, the vanilla, that stuff really intrigued me.
Yeah.
So here it is in the old glass. It is in a Tiku glass. On the SRM chart, I would put it probably around an 8 or a 9. It's pretty amber orange color, pretty hazy in the glass, poured with a pretty thin little fizzy head of white head that dissipated quickly, no lacing to speak of. And I'm just going to smell it.
Well, it sounds epic. It's been a while. I feel like every time we have a different style, we're always like, it's been so long since I think we've had gozes kind of here and there. But it's definitely a new style that I have much more appreciation for than I did before. And this one's made with peach puree. And I love peach flavored things. So
yeah, me too.
I bet this is like a knockout.
Yeah, I love a gose, man, because gozes are technically sour ales, but they're tart, but they're usually not puckeringly sour.
That's salt.
Yeah, exactly. It's brewed with salt water, and that is just a different way of souring it that is much more subtle and pleasant to me. On the nose, yeast esters for sure. Peach and also just stone fruit in general, I would say. It is definitely... what I don't get is a lot of like the vanilla or the graham cracker. I think that's going to be more on the taste.
Yeah, probably.
I don't really get cinnamon here either. But it mostly just tastes like a pleasant fruited, sour ale.
Nice.
Some white grape, maybe a little bit of mango, maybe some tropical fruits going on, but a whole lot of fruit in the bouquet.
Nice. Now, do we know if this is like one of their newer ones, or was this released kind of a few months ago?
This is on the newer side. Yeah, it's
Nice.
within the past like couple months. I don't have the
Sweet.
exact date, but yeah, it's on the newer side.
Dope.
So here we go.
Crowns and Hops, man. Great company. California, I have a little tiff with them because instead of rooting for the Chargers, they root for the Rams. Kind of like most of California, but it's all right. I still like their beer, and I'll still root for them. So yeah. So let's see if those flavors match the nose.
That's because the Chargers belong in San Diego and not LA.
Your words.
This is interesting because like you drink it at first and you get the sourness of it, and it's definitely tart, more tart than some gozes can be. And the like graham cracker quality of it is kind of hidden. The graham cracker, the vanilla, the cinnamon, you don't get that at first, but then it happens on the back end of like the back of your palate. So you swallow it, and then you're left with this like lingering like cinnamon in the mouth behind it, which is interesting. Like I don't know really if that's a good or bad thing, but it's definitely there. Like it's definitely not just something they say. They're walking the walk, you know what I mean?
Yeah, there we go. There you go. Nice. Yeah, sometimes that back end flavor is so strong and so it leaves a great impression, and it makes you kind of like appreciate it more.
Yeah, it leaves your mouth with like a bitterness almost. It's like a lingering tartness, but also a lingering like cinnamon aftertaste, which is interesting. Mouthfeel, it's pretty zingy. It's a tart ale. But as far as goses go, this is more puckering and sour than some can be. So it's definitely a sour. But they say on their website, like, hey, if you have friends who don't really like beer, give them this. Let them try this, because maybe this will do it for them. It's something different.
It honestly might. 6%. Are we feeling it's boozy, or is it kind of hidden because everything else is going on?
Yeah, no, it's hidden. It's really easy drinker. I'm not going to slam it because it's sour, but it's really sit on the porch and kick back and have some peach cobbler. It's just very intriguing. You just don't see a lot of sours with like graham cracker and cinnamon and vanilla, and those notes are in there for sure. So
right.
I'm intrigued. I'm go Crowns and hops.
Steven, I have a question, and it might be embarrassing for me, but I don't care. What's the difference between a pie and a cobbler?
It's an excellent question. When I think of cobbler, I think of it like a mess. Like it's not neatly in it's just like a crumble. It's like, all right, I don't know if that's true, but we're
on the same page. Yeah, we're on the same page because that's kind of where my brain went as well. I feel like pie is much more like detail oriented. You dedicate the time to get the crust right and the little blah 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 blah. But cobbler, it's like, yeah, I don't know, just throw it in the pan and throw it in the oven. I'm busy.
There's like crumble, like the crust isn't holding it. It's just sort of mixed in. It's like a strudel.
Strudel.
It's like a strudel.
Oh, good. Man. Okay, great.
Well, you have a beer.
I do have a beer. Are you tagging me in? Is it my turn?
Yeah, I'm tagging you in because we have so many beers to drink that, I'm tagging you in. We got a lot to do.
I am so excited for this brewery. As we mentioned earlier, this is Montclair Brewing, our lovely friends in New Jersey. They were great. They had great beers. And now I have their Maya. Oh, the green screen. Oh, it's kind of a green can. I didn't think about that. Okay, well, you can't really see it, but it's the Maya. It is a double IPA. It is brewed to honor the late, great Maya Angelou, which is one of the reasons why I just had to grab it. I saw it was, I believe it's one of their newer ones. Maya Angelou, how could you go wrong? Double IPA, let's go. 7%, no IBUs. Beer Advocate has yet to review it. Untapped gave it a 3.68 from the brewery. Super juicy and fruity double IPA, beaming with citrusy notes from the Mosaic and Simcoe hops, and made extra fruity with a dollop of mango puree, brewed for Women's History Month. Women's History Month was back in March, but it was brewed for then. Great sounding beer. We're on the puree. I'm on the puree level with you today, Steven. So that's pretty cool.
Love it. Yeah, there's some trends across the beers we're drinking now. Montclair, we did a taproom special there, or we did not do a taproom special? We did not do a taproom. It was part of our New Jersey tour.
Yes, it was our New Jersey tour. We were unable to do a taproom special because from what I remember, the place was just like too packed, and we were just like, yeah, this isn't going to work. But we drank the beers. We emailed the brewery and said, hey, we drank your beers. We did an episode. Check it out if you like. No pressure. And they emailed back and were like, why didn't you tell us you were in town? We all would have chilled and had a good time. So Montclair Brewing, we're not visiting this time, but we're not far away. I certainly am not far away. So if the invitation still stands, I would love to come back, maybe bring some friends, drink some more dope beers. The quote from the can says, if you're always trying to be normal, you will never know how amazing you can be. That stood out to me. That made me feel great. Amen is right. Where's my beer mug? Here she is in the glass. Nice pillowy head retention. This is literally the beer emoji. Like it's 100%. Some good stickiness. On the SRM chart, I would put this between like an 11 and like a 13. It's kind of got that deep dark orange color. It's not hazy, I would say cloudy in the glass. I can kind of see through it, not really. But it looks dope. It sounds dope. Let's see what's given off of the smell. Again, it's made with mango puree. That caught my eye.
And it's a classic DIPA. Looks to be fairly hazy, so the mango puree probably leaning on that. And yeah, Mosaic and Simcoe as well. So you're working in the New Englandy juicy type style for sure. And New Jersey beer, like, not to be slept on, because that day that we went to Montclair, we also went to 67. No, I'm thinking the other one.
We went to
Hackensack for sure because we drank it in Igloo.
Yes,
and
that was the Igloo.
That was the Igloo, and there was another one that was a Four City. I knew it was a number. Four City is up there as well, and we went there.
Yes.
So yeah, there's some New Jersey as a state. You know, there's some weirdness definitely related to the alcohol industry and the laws, but the breweries they put in the work.
They sure do. This beer, fruity, citrusy, getting a lot of orange, obviously getting mango, getting a little bit of lemon. I'm getting some tropical vibes. I'm getting. When I first took a sniff, I wanted to say I'm getting booze off of it, but I don't think I am. I think I'm just getting very strong hops. It's got the hoppy smell to it, but it's got that citrusy vibe. It maybe because it's 7%, but it smells like it's going to be fun. It smells like it's going to be really enjoyable. So without further ado, here I go.
Cheers. Dive in. Gabe's happy.
Yum.
Gabe's making a happy face. Oh. They had a beer there that we got that was brewed with some kind of weird fruit or something. It was like a Bayo beer.
Bayo tree. It was their golden ale. It's like, I think their flagship, and it was absolutely out of this world. I was not expecting it to be that good. I didn't know what to expect. And
this is also the home of the sour stout.
Oh, it sure is.
Which was insane. Like that.
A sour stout. Yeah.
Yeah. Just wrap your head around that. That's Montclair Brewing for you.
New Jersey, man. Okay. This is fun. This is citrusy. Yes. Mango. Yes. Flavorful in that regard. Simcoe and Mosaic hops. We could probably make those at this point because of all the beers we've had. So you know what that tastes like. I know what that tastes like. Okay. It's pillowy, like soft and smooth. It goes down. The carbonation is there, but it just goes down so easily. I guess you can put this in the dangerous column. I think for an experienced beer drinker, you know, when you read 7%, you know not to go nuts. But it's fruity. It's delicious. It goes down. It's got this great, clean, refreshing mouthfeel that I really love. Like, it just sits in your mouth, and it's got this like, it's just like a soft, cloudy pillow, and it just I feel like it really wakes up your taste buds. That nice. I will say that. It's awesome. It's a double. Have a couple of these and you could start to feel a little loose. It's got the intense flavor.
What I did want to say that I and our good friends at Montclair Brewing, I love you guys, but 7% is not a DIPA. That's a single IPA.
Yeah.
That's where the labeling gets a little bit murky, but to be a DIPA, according to the Brewers Association, I think it needs to be at least like 7.6. But traditionally it's 8 and up. That's what you see.
Yeah.
So if you go higher than 7.5 and you want to call it a DIPA, okay. But that's a single IPA. That's a regular IPA.
I think one of the things we need in 2023 is every time a brewery says, this is our double and it's at 7%, and you're like, wait a second, let's look at the Brewers Guild. We need like a drop that's like, break out the rule book.
We can do that. I hate to be that way because the whole point of the show is to not be like super nerdy, and that's like the nerdiest thing I can humanly do. But it's like, if I order a double IPA, I'm like, look, I want to feel some shit, and I order a double IPA and it's 7%. Like, that's not a double to me. But the flavors sound great, and I'm not drinking the beer, so what do I know?
Here's the thing. You will forgive that because of how good the taste is. 100%.
Which is what matters anyway.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, it's not. Yeah.
This is excellent. This brewery, to what I've been experienced to the episode we've made, to what I've seen, I could be very wrong about this. And if I am, I apologize. But I feel like this brewery is a little slept on, and they shouldn't be, because they've got delicious beers. They've got weird ass concoctions. # sour stout.
Yeah.
Like,
well, New Jersey as a state is kind of slept on. Let's be honest.
Well,
and part of that is the weird laws.
Yeah.
That make it really difficult for brewers in that state. And there's a lot of people, there's a lot of lobbying that goes on to try and get, and the Brewers Association is big on that, and other organizations. There's a lot of work being done to try and just expand, because, a state like California, with the pandemic, made direct to consumer shipping really easy to do. And certain states with much more, conservative laws around that stuff. Texas is one that comes to mind. New Jersey is another one. And it makes it really difficult for breweries to succeed there on the level that they do in places like New York or California, or, insert liberal state here.
This has been Steven's Rulebook.
Okay,
just saying.
I'm just saying that, like, that those laws are antiquated and they make it hard on brewers.
The laws blow. I mean, they just do. They're not good. Yeah.
I'm sure a company like Montclair or Forest City or Hackensack or any of the ones we've done, or Cape May, or we've done so many, but it's just hard to get their beers. You can get them in like New York, but it just is difficult for them to get their beers distributed widely and to be able to send their beers to other people because of the way their state is. So
if you want to hear our other beers that we drank, Montclair Brewing, Round 68. That was another one we didn't do in 2021. We did it in 2020, I believe. That one,
we did it.
Round 68.
Yeah, 2021.
Yeah.
All right, so we're not going to go into the breweries too much because, as we mentioned, you can go listen to their episodes. But what we like to do this time of year is we like to rank our top 5 beers of the year that we had on the show in 2022. Yeah. So I went first last year. Why don't you go first, Gabe?
Great.
I think I went first last year. So you go first. There might be some overlap. We haven't shared these lists.
Yeah, we never do. But I'm going first. Love that journey for me. I'm gonna go in backwards order. So I'm gonna start with number 5.
Great.
So number 5 for me, and this was actually a tough decision. I think my top 3 were easy, and 4 and 5 I had to kind of pick a few. Number 5 was Zeros to Heaven. It was a West Coast IPA by Casa Agria.
Wow. Okay.
I just really enjoyed it. I thought it was very smooth, very dope, and it made the list. This one, this was one of those beers that I was like, I want this to be on my list, and I hope it is, and I'm glad it was. Coming in at number 4 for me, from Trogs, they're jovial. Because it was so good. It was served in this dope bottle with a cork, and it just made you feel jovial. Like, it was just great.
Yeah. That Trogs is amazing. Like, across the board. You've been on our show a lot. Trogs is great.
For good reason. Yep. Number 3, from Treehouse. Get the crown out, because we got the King Julius.
Yeah.
There's nothing else to be said. This beer is world-renowned. This brewery is world-renowned. Everybody knows. Now, here's where it got competitive and I didn't know where to go, but I ended up with this. Number 2, Other Half's Brave Noise.
Nice.
Just
good call.
The beer was obviously good, but just the movement, the episode, just everything around it, the cause, the money, like Brienne Allen doing what she does. Shout out to her. Number 2 for me. Number 1.
Here we go. Drum roll.
I don't know if this will be surprising to you. I'm going to say the brewery and you're going to know. From Ellicottville, their Pumpkinville Latte.
What?
Yeah, I had to do it. I just
That's
thinking
wild.
I was just thinking about the list and I just said, you know what? I have never, ever had a beer like this. Number 1, Pumpkinville Latte.
Wow. Well,
Touchdown! Unbelievable!
Ellicottville. I didn't get to drink that beer, so
Yeah.
So I'm glad it had an effect on you. I guess I'll have to seek it out.
Yeah.
All right, so we didn't have that much overlap. First of all, I give an honorable mention to Firestone Walker every year. I always take them out of consideration because
Thank God.
But their 23 anniversary ale, which I drank for Thanksgiving, is just, I mean, it's as good as a beer can be. But they're not on the list. Okay. Number 5 was Weathered Souls Grand Champion Petite Strawberry Lager.
It looked good. It looked good.
Oh yeah, you didn't get to have it.
I
huh?
know.
It was just so weird, and it was like it's a lager. Like it tasted like, you know, a better version of a Corona, but also with strawberries in it. It was just like wild.
Yeah, I remember that episode and you drinking it and being like, "Whoa!" So
you don't see adjuncts in lagers as much. You see it in ales a lot, obviously with the sours and with the, you know, and you see it with stouts and stuff. But yeah that was kind of crazy. Number 4. I'm shocked this didn't make your list. Full Circle's Illa Vanilla Milkshake IPA.
It's number 6 for me. It was right there.
I knew it.
Yeah. No, it was.
Number 3, I went with Paulaner's Salvatore.
Ooh.
This was we drank it for Oktoberfest, and it was just, you know, it was this like heavy, like intense beer with these just cherry notes and all these dark flavors, and it was not like anything I've had from Paulaner, and it was really, really good.
Nice.
It was a Doppelbock. It was awesome. Number 2, and this might be recency bias, but whatever. South Beach's Strawberry Orange Mimosa Sparkling Ale.
Wow.
It was so refreshing. Like it was like,
yeah,
it was wild.
I had one the other night just because I have it.
Really?
Yeah,
it's really
it's
good.
a great like end of the night beer, you know.
Yeah, it's so delicious. It's like the flavors are so good. And then number 1 is Treehouse's King Julius. It is the golden, like it's the crown jewel of IPAs. It is the best. It's a double IPA, the King Julius, but I mean Treehouse is just a brewery that can't be messed with when it comes to IPAs. It's what everybody is striving to be, and it was absolutely just up to par. So I love it.
Exclamation point.
Yes.
We played Joe,
indeed.
we got to play Mike. Yeah, wow. We normally I feel like the past 2 years we've always had like 2 or 3 of the same beers. This one we only had 1.
Yeah, this was good. We did it. I mean, it has to do.
Yeah, I like it when it's different. When we have, some beers I drank, some beers you didn't, so that plays a factor. But yeah, nice.
All right, well, we have to keep it moving, so we're gonna drink our second beer.
Oh man,
which we get to drink together, which I'm really excited about.
I need to cleanse the palate.
Yeah, seriously. We're going back to a brewery that has not been on our show since 2020, but it's Boulevard Brewing. And it's their More S'more, which is
More S'more, please.
It's a limited release. It's, we didn't do a Christmas episode this year, so we're covering Christmas. We're getting festive. It's a barrel-aged Imperial Stout. It's got graham cracker in it. Again, I'm on a graham cracker theme.
Yeah,
today.
You like your s'mores, I guess.
Toasted sugar and s'mores as well in here. I am really excited for this one.
The ABV is not that strong though. It's only 11.8%.
Only 11.
Oh
yeah,
my
only
God. 32 IBUs. Beer Advocate gave it a 90. Untapped gave it a 4.01. The SRM chart, I mean,
it's a 40. And
yeah, I guess if you hold it up to the light, it looks a little lighter, but it's a 40.
Also, pouring it was like pouring just sludge out of. There was no head, there was no foam. It was just thick liquid just dumping into a glass. It's rich, it's intense, it's chocolatey. I can tell you that right now. It had no head at all. Lacing wise, it's pretty sticky in the glass.
The malts used are pale, amber, Cara, chocolate, rye, wheat, and oats. So it might be a little creamy. And the hops are Magnum, lol, and Topaz.
Topaz hops.
So that's kind of interesting. I think we're getting a little bit of that British. Is it a British hop?
Topaz? That's a great question. I have no idea.
I don't know. You did a British accent. I thought you were leading to something.
It just feels like...
It feels right. No, I get it.
Yeah. From the brewery, quote, sometimes the most delicious treats come from the simplest ingredients. More S'more brings the wonder of beer and the magic of s'mores to life in a single bottle, the perfect companion for late night evenings around a fire. Now, Boulevard Brewing, it should be noted, they are part of the Duvel Mortgott Collective, along with Omegang and Firestone Walker, so you know that I love them already. They did have some shit to clean up.
Yeah, they did.
For sure.
Yes.
And we reported on that a while ago, but also they have since more or less cleaned it up as far as we know. So we felt comfortable having them back on the show, and this beer is exciting and it smells amazing.
Oh my God, it smells like liquid fudge. It smells like fudge. It smells like when you have a piece of... You know how you can get like a dessert pie and it's some sort of chocolate and it pairs with something? It could be, a s'mores pie. It could be a chocolate blah, blah, blah pie. And when you heat it up and that warm chocolate smell, oh, that's what I'm getting. It smells so good.
Yeah, it's got graham cracker for sure. It's got marshmallow for sure. It's got booze for sure.
I was just about to say, it kind of gives off a little bit of that bourbon smell.
Most definitely.
Which
and it was aged in bourbon barrels.
Which gets me very excited, and it makes me sweat in a good way.
Yeah, it's it's chocolate, it's marshmallow, it's a little bit of coffee, it's caramel, it's coconut, it's boozy.
God.
This is, ho, ho, ho. It's the holiday season. Curl up by the fire, grab one of these. This is fulfilling everything I thought it would be.
I don't think anything else needs to be said. Thank you guys for joining us. Steven, beer and review. Here we go.
Yeah, that's that is everything it promised it would be and more. It's caramel, it's coconut, it's bourbon, it's sweet but also boozy. It's scarily easy to drink given what it is. It does not taste like 11.8%, and it's so sweet that you can drink this and like you could ruin your day tomorrow if you're not careful. This is the polar opposite of the sour I was drinking before, that's for sure. It's creamy, it's rich, it's a rich Imperial Stout, it's luscious, it's intense, it's velvety, it's dirty in a way. It's
Dulce de leche?
Yes, absolutely.
Because I'm getting strong caramel tastes, strong caramel notes, but I'm also getting dulce de leche. Not that it's made with it, but it's got that vibe to it. It is everything you said. And I think the oat malts make it a little creamy in the mouth.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of bubbling carbonation. The carbonation is there and it's good and it helps with the overall taste of the beer, but the way this goes down and just like the way it sits in the palate, like it's just, I want to bathe in this.
Yeah, it's a dessert. It's a rich chocolate cake.
I will say this. I've never had, and this is like beers we've had on the show, beers you and I have had just in life. I've never had a beer that was so strong alcoholic wise that it made me go like, whoo, okay. Because in other beers like this and other like barrel aged concoctions like this, there's always like, yeah, you can taste the booze, but like you can get it down and it's like, it's no problem. But this is like kind of like close to like brandy in a way.
Yeah, but are you saying that you feel that way about this beer where you're like, because I don't. I feel like the booze is so hidden in this that I'm like,
for me personally, I'm tasting the booze a lot, to be honest. Ooh. Like I think it's just so in front. I mean, I think the other flavors mask it, but I think if you like really focus, I think you can get like, you're like, oh yeah, this ain't like 6%, you know, like, you know.
Oh, for sure.
It's up.
Yeah, it's the flavor is there. It definitely has that bourbony quality to it, but I don't, but I think the sweetness and all the other adjunct flavors mask that so much that I'm like, you could forget about that and just start, you know, sipping your sweet treat and you.
A little bit of maple, maybe?
Yeah, everything's sweet. Caramel, espresso, everything.
This will, like you said, though, this will 100% ruin your day tomorrow. You need slow, maybe some water.
Slow. Yeah.
Like, don't.
Take it easy.
Yeah. Take your time, enjoy it, appreciate it.
Yeah. It's really, really good, though. I mean, and I expected nothing less because when it comes to barrel aging beers, the Duvel Mortgott crew just does it as well as anybody can do it.
They do not disappoint.
Yeah.
Wow.
We have to move on. We're pushing it here. But so we're not going to do can arts and crafts today because it's, you know, we're having a party here.
Bob is here though. He says hello and Happy New Year.
Bob is present as always. And I don't know. I mean, we do like to just, you know, reflect on the year as a whole before we go into our last call. And 2022 was, you know, it was a year and things happened and it was what it was. I don't know. I graduated grad school finally, so that was good. We got that done.
Yay!
Yeah.
Wait, that's not what I wanted.
There we go. Yeah, that was definitely a highlight.
Congratulations.
For sure.
That's huge. And it's a master's. It's not, you know, that took some work and dedication and I heard horror stories. So good for you.
There were more than a few.
Yeah.
Yeah. But all in all, it was, you know, a better year than the last two were. Let's put it that way.
There we go. Yeah, I agree. There was a lot that happened. You know, we both got new jobs. Our classic 9-to-5s. I got a new acting job that I did for the first time the other day. It's like a over Zoom sort of deal, but it's like fun, and I had a blast with that. And I got to speak with an Irish accent. That was British. That was bad.
So many people we know got married this year.
Oh my God, we went to so many weddings. So a lot of our friends got married. I was the best man at my brother's wedding. I officiated my friend's wedding. And before that wedding, I went to Miami for the bachelor party. And the night I got back, we recorded Athletic Brewing. That was that episode. That was the night I got back. I literally landed.
Like, Gabe's going to need a reset. Let's do some non-alc stuff.
Yes. I had been drinking my face off all week. I landed. I had Chinese food. And then we recorded that episode.
That's hilarious.
I went to Oktoberfest in Brooklyn. So hammered. It's been really a while. Did. It's been a while since I've been that drunk off of beer.
But the hop in Munich Oktoberfest is still on the wish list.
Yes.
That is yet to happen.
Yes. That's on the Amazon wish list.
Yeah. It's been a solid year. We both moved this year.
Yeah. You moved into what I like to call a resort. It's like it's a new complex, right?
No, but it's one of those, like, LA has a lot of these where there are just, you know, big fancy buildings with a lot
This
stuff.
shit is a resort. He sent me the link.
Yeah.
I was like, what don't you have at this place? His address is... No, I'm kidding. Yeah, and then I moved to Brooklyn with my girlfriend, and it's been great, and we're on the ground floor, so we don't have to climb stairs to get to the apartment. So moving in was
ideal.
Kind of a breeze. I went to Napa. I went to Miami. I went to places. I saw American Buffalo on Broadway.
Yeah, we had a year. You know, we got back out there. We're learning to live with this old COVID thing that we're all still dealing with on the reg. So
yeah, and there's it's more, and there's flu going around. There's sickness going around, and you know.
Yeah, can you hear it in my voice?
Yeah, both of us are a little struggling today, but
we're here because we're professionals and we don't miss miss the hop.
We clocked
for illness.
in today.
Yeah. And I'll reiterate what I said at the top, which is the stuff we have in the pipeline for 2023 is so exciting. It makes me want to cry. Some of it. So we can't wait to keep producing more episodes. We will keep at it because it's what we do. And
Amen.
So more to come in 2023.
All right.
And with that, I think it's time that we move into our last call of 2022.
Last call.
So we're trying to stay on theme. New Year coming up. We looked around and we found a fun article. The 7 strangest New Year's traditions around the world. Let's explore, shall we? They're all in order, and we're just going to read them. Number 1, Ecuador. Scarecrow burning. To banish any ill fortune or bad things that happened in the past year, Ecuadorians set fire to scarecrows filled with paper at midnight. They also burn photographs of things that represent the past year, which leads us to believe that New Year is just a thinly veiled excuse for Ecuadorian pyromaniacs to set things on fire. I mean, you're not wrong.
Look at Gabe. There's, what's the difference between that and fireworks, really? I mean, isn't that just
quite literally nothing? You want to read number 2?
Yeah, number 2 is round things in the Philippines. In the Philippines, New Year is about one thing and one thing only: cold, hard cash. Word. Hoping to bring prosperity and wealth for the year ahead, Filipino people try to use as many round things as possible to represent coins and wealth. Round clothes, round food, you name it. If it's round, they want in.
Round bellies. I've got one of those. Does that count? I don't know.
Sure. I don't know what's round clothes?
Yeah, that one threw me for a loop. I think maybe they have to like cut something and I don't know. They're wearing a circle. I don't really know.
Interesting.
In Denmark, they break plates.
Sure.
If you're, I love this art, the way they describe it. If you're ever in Denmark and wake up to find a pile of smashed crockery outside your door, it's probably New Year's Eve. Unused plates are saved up all year until the last day when they are hurled at the front doors of your friends and family.
What?
Yeah, in a strangely vandalistic display of affection. So you have to throw plates at each other for whatever reason.
Honey, have we used that bowl this year? No, I'm throwing it at the McCleavies.
Hi, neighbor!
Yeah.
Don't step on that.
Okay.
Oh, my God.
We smashed the crockery. Okay, moving on. Eating 12 grapes in Spain. As the clock counts down to 12 and people around the world are preparing to watch fireworks and drunkenly kiss each other, Spaniards are staring at bunches of grapes with a steely gaze. This challenge involves stuffing your face with 12 grapes, one for every ring of the bell. Succeed, and you've got good luck for the year ahead.
I've heard of this one.
I mean, is that difficult to do, eating grapes?
No. It's just,
okay.
I don't know why it's on. It's not that strange. I think it's kind of cool, but it made the list.
I'm glad you get to be the one to try and pronounce this. Go ahead.
Oh, God. Takanakui Festival. That's just not right. It's just incorrect. This is in Peru. This annual Peruvian festival held at the end of December is all about people beating the living daylights out of each other. Competitors face off in a ring for a round of bare-knuckled brawling, which is overseen by local policemen. Amen. This word that I can't pronounce literally means when the blood is boiling, but apparently all the fights are friendly and represent a fresh start of the year. Good God.
Why is New Year's so violent in certain places?
I don't know.
Let's go to Japan. 108 rings. Think the countdown of 12 rings takes too long? Try 108 on for size. In Japan, bells are rang 108 times in a Buddhist tradition that's believed to banish all human sins. It's also good luck to be smiling or laughing going into the new year, but who knows how you can be in a good mood after having to sit through that prolonged ringing.
Yeah, that's too much. Why 108? That's such a random number.
That's so Japanese, you know. It's Buddhist. It seems uncomfortable, which is what makes it like Japanese to me. Okay,
I feel like 100 would suffice. And the last one from South America, colored underwear. This one's fun. Countries such as Mexico, Bolivia, and Brazil, your fortunes for the year ahead are all decided by your underpants, or as Ben Affleck in The Town likes to call it, his underoos. One of the best lines in cinematic history. Anyway, those who want to find love wear red underwear, whilst gold diggers should opt for yellow, which brings wealth and luck. If you're just after a bit of peace, some white pants should do the trick nicely. So if you got your underoos, if they're a certain color, it means something.
So if you find yourself in Times Square this year, you know, with your Planet Fitness hat on,
sponsored by Planet Fitness.
It's so weird.
Doesn't make any sense.
You could be doing any of these things instead.
The broken plates sound funny. I don't know that I would want to bare knuckle fight anyone because I'd probably get my ass handed to me. But
I like the underwear thing. I'm thinking of doing that. Like maybe I should just manifest what I want to happen to me in 2023 and put underwear on that is color coded.
Well, what do you want? You want money? Because it's got to be yellow for gold. Because you're a gold digger.
I want an acting career. What color is that?
Black. Because that's the color of our souls at this point.
Okay, we have to go for sure. Guys, thank you. Can't thank you enough for another year of podcasting as 2022 comes to an end. It's always amazing when we get this far, but here we are, and we'll keep doing it because that's what we do. So thank you for everything. Tell your friends, tell your family, follow us on the social medias, and we'll see you in the new year.
We'll see you motherfuckers in 2023. Thank you for joining us. We love you all. Drink good beer, say something nice, enjoy each other. Have a happy and safe new year.
Cheers, everybody.